I'm Brittany Jones.
And I'm Rowan Amin, and we're beating the buzzer.
Okay, so 2014 playoffs. Game one was intense. So it was 5 game 7s. Like, I don't think any playoffs can match that, like that round one. What did you think?
Brittany, you're definitely right. This is arguably been the best NBA playoffs for the first round in history. I mean, if you count the Portland-Houston series, that almost was 6 game 7s, and that's remarkable. And it's unheard of.
Absolutely. And, round one was intense, but I don't think round two really matched up to it.
It did not live up to the billing. There were no game 7s. There were the Pacers and Wizards went to game 6, as OKC and Clippers should have went to game 6. There was too much ref controversy, and I think San Antonio and Miami, the two finals participants from last year, they just took care of business.
Absolutely. But round three, I think it was what everyone wished for, number one versus number two, Miami versus the Pacers. They've been battling all season. We wanted to see that intensity. And then you have the Spurs and the Thunder.
And those are arguably the four best teams. And we'll see what happens. So now we're in the Eastern Conference Finals, Brittany. We're through 2 games, and the series is tied at 1. The series is shifting back to South Beach. You have to give the edge to the two-time defending champions, don't you?
You have to. I mean, they're going back home. They play good at home. But, Paul George has a concussion right now. If he does come back full health, they can give a good run for it. I think even if Pacers steal a game in Miami, they have a real good chance of, beating Miami.
On the contrary, Brittany, I don't think Indiana can get a game in Miami. Miami is undefeated at home in the playoffs. And the only losses they've had is one at Brooklyn on the road, and that was game 3. They kind of let their foot off the pedal. And I think they realized that they have to put these Pacers away. They realize that San Antonio is rolling. They have to get to the finals, and they won't have home court this year, so they're motivated.
Yeah, but the Pacers are hungry. And, they beat the Heat in game 1. They got a little off in game 2. They let Miami go on that run. And then apparently Paul George was, blacking out a little. But I think they can really beat Miami. Okay, you got the old heads against the young heads. It's been a good series so far, for the Spurs, that is.
It's a shootout in the Southwest. I mean, Oklahoma City, San Antonio. As you said, Brittany, you got Westbrook and Durant, the dynamic. Can they finally break through without James Harden to an NBA championship? And then you have the San Antonio Spurs, the ageless wonders. They keep winning. Ginobili, Duncan, and Parker, the big three. They just topped Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Michael Cooper as the winningest trio in NBA history. 111 wins in the whole season.
Right, you said, can they break through without Harden? Can they break through without Ibaka? They poor defense in the paint. They let the Spurs get 66 points in the paint, and then game 2, Durant and Westbrook scored 30 points combined. If they don't have defense to stop the Spurs from scoring, then they got to start scoring so that they can just score a little bit more to win the game.
Definitely. I mean, Kevin Durant yesterday had 15 points. That is unacceptable for the MVP. But the Spurs now, they were up in the 2012 finals.
Okay, so we know fans have superstitions, but athletes have superstitions. It was so weird to see that KD said he can't watch his team shoot late in the game free throws. He turned around when Westbrook shot those free throws. How weird is that?
It's pretty weird, Brittany, but I'm going to give you one that's even more weird. You have Lamar Odom, who isn't currently in the playoffs, but he is a New York Knick, and that's your favorite team. But he eats dozens of candy before the game. He has an insane sugar rush before each game. How can you eat all of that candy and be able to run up and down the court for 48 minutes? Hard to believe that.
It's hard to believe, but you know what? Durant also said that he can't watch the Washington Redskins play, or they'll lose. Now, the Redskins lost a lot, so I'm thinking Durant must have watched a lot of games this season. But, I mean, I'm very superstitious, so it's funny to see that the players are as well.
I'm not as superstitious, but it's entertaining to see fans in San Antonio are superstitious, and they now have started a petition to ban Tony Romo from attending Spurs games because he is a jinx, let's face it. I mean, the Cowboys, and he jinxes everything.
So we all saw Kevin Durant's MVP speech. It was very heartfelt, made me shed a little tear. And at the end, he credited his mother for being the real MVP. But a lot of people took to social media and made a joke about it. So some of the things that they joked around was, Tony Romo, you're the real MVP. Like we say, he's a jinx, and for whatever team he roots for, he makes them lose.
I mean, Kevin Durant, you can see how close he is with his mom. And for all of our moms, you guys are the real MVP. Not only Mother's Day, but every day. You guys, you put food in our bellies. We eat great food because of you. You're the real MVP. But in these playoffs for the Spurs, old man Riverwalk, Tim Duncan, 38 years old, still getting it done. Timmy, you're the real MVP.
Timmy, you are the real MVP. But I have to say, so when you're at the store and your check is like $5.07 and you only have $5, and the cashier says, you know what, go ahead. Now that's the real MVP.
I'm from New York City, and when you don't have that extra 25 cents for a MetroCard and someone gives you a ride, you are the real MVP, MTA Rider.
And Mama, when I wake up to breakfast smelling good, you are the real MVP.
I'm Rowan.
And I'm Brittany, and stay tuned for next week as we try to beat the buzzer about the Stanley Cup playoffs and my New York Rangers.